All right, welcome to another how-to anime video. So for this video, we're going to be talking about Chainsaw Man episode 8, and specifically the back half of Chainsaw Man episode 8, because the biggest payoff for what the anime Mappa is going for is, of course, we've been talking about how they tone down the humor. So for this episode, it is the serious and cinematic parts of the anime that pays off when the plot goes down. In the first half of the episode, I still have issues with, the humor. It's honestly, it's kind of boring. The fact that they make it more chill vibes. They make Denji a little bit too serious, and I still feel that same way. But in the end, what they meant to do with Himeno as a character is make her likable. Make her an important character, and she's been front and center for the past couple episodes, and she's, I think, really shined, and she made a big impact as a likable character, and her kind of dynamic with Denji makes her one of those prime characters where, when I was reading the manga, she was very close to becoming my favorite character. I think she was becoming that for very many other people too. But how they built up her arc was very, very special. She gave us an iconic scene. Watch my last video about Chainsaw Man, how I feel about that scene. I thought it was okay. It was mid, but it's still an iconic scene, iconic moment in the Chainsaw Man story. But all of that humor stuff aside, it is the cinematic feel, the serious feel of the characters that, at the end of the day, that is what matters the most. You want to feel something for these characters, and they can't just completely be a joke. And there's a balancing act to this. If you're going to take away and tone down a lot of the humor, that means you must make us want to feel for these characters. You have to make us like these characters on a deeper level, and that is what Chainsaw Man in the anime makes us feel, or attempts to do. I still feel kind of iffy with Denji as this super serious character. That is not necessarily the case when it comes to Aki, Himeno, because those characters are a little bit more logical, a little bit more normal. They provide the level balance to Chainsaw Man that they're supposed to a little bit, contrast Denji in that way, where Denji is more of the numbskull, the little knucklehead main character. So by the time Himeno and Denji have their conversation in the morning eating breakfast, once that's over, that's when we know, if you are a manga reader, that's when shit hits the fan. And when shit hits the fan, there's so many different ways that they can build these scenes, and this scene specifically reminds me of the Eminence and Shadow episode 1. It is one of those very serious moments where they actually have that music in the background, and they make it more like a background element, like a sad, somber moment, like a what the hell kind of moment. I'm sure for first time anime viewers watching this moment, it is a WTF moment. No doubt is a WTF moment. When I first read this, I'm like, what the hell just happened? Did they just kill off? Did they just literally kill off a character that they built for the past couple episodes and make us almost love this character and just kill her off? How they did this really, really is important, because that seriousness, the cinematic touch, those moments and the music, it makes sense. That is the payoff that I think Mappa was going for. So the ambush, when they first shot Makima and her partner or whatever, they just blasted her in the head, and I'm like, okay, that happened really fast. Things escalated really fast, and you see Kobani and you see Arai, and they get blasted by an old grandma lady. That's another what the hell moment. And then you have the crew of Aki, Denji, Himeno, and Power. They're just chilling and eating, and all of a sudden, one of the most important characters of this arc shows up, and that is the Katana Man. And he gives us the ultimate WTF moment when he pulls out his gun and he just headshots Denji, and shit goes down. When shit goes down, you're in the thick of the plot. So the cinematic feel, the serious feel is best when the plot thickens, when they're in the middle of a serious moment. In fights, these are when the cinematic moments shine the best. I see what they're going for, like the Eternity Devil arc, when they fought the Eternity Devil and all those elements, you know, came into play when they're in the middle of the plot. This is when the anime shines. This is totally when the anime shines. So this is one of those special episodes, and it's a turning point in the anime. It's a turning point in the Chainsaw Man story. It's the first time where it feels like, oh, the main characters, the characters are actually in trouble. For this whole time, for the first 7 episodes, it doesn't really feel like anyone's really in danger. All those criticisms I had for the previous episodes, the payoff is this episode right here, episode 8. And this episode, it covers chapters 22, 23, 24, and half of 25. So the anime actually, they cover a lot of manga chapters. Well, the manga chapters aren't that long. They're anywhere between, you know, 15 to 25 pages. But they cover a lot in the anime. I know people complain about the pacing, but I think they're covering quite a bit, you know. So I think it's just the style of what Mappa is going for. It makes it feel like it's slower, but in reality, they're actually covering a lot. Like at the beginning of the episode, they added a little bit more filler scenes from Himeno's point of view to kind of round out the episode, because the back half of the episode is the most amazing part of the episode. And this is where a lot of more serious, important elements in the plot matters. You have the Katana Man, who is the son of that Yakuza leader that basically helped Denji kind of grow into his character, and who Denji fought in the very first episode. So you have that real connection to Denji from that very first episode, and to Denji's whole past with the Yakuza. And the Katana Man said something very, very important. He said a phrase that you guys need to pay attention to, because it is a trope, a theme, a motif, whatever kind of literary kind of word that fits best for what Katana Man says. He says the phrase necessary evil, and a lot of Chainsaw Man is committing necessary evils. That is kind of one of those plot points where people are struggling within that dilemma, the dilemma of necessary evil. Are you committing a necessary evil? Is it okay to commit a necessary evil? Are you living within that necessary evil? So I just think down the line, that specific phrase from Katana Man is very, very important, because it doesn't just come from Katana Man. This is a theme that goes on, you know, probably still going on. The necessary evil, it works as a dilemma, a plot point for very, very many different series, and it works very well in Chainsaw Man. And this is one of those things where Mappa gets it right, because the fight scenes have been very, very good to amazing, and I think this is one of the ones where it actually stands out very well. It's definitely better than the manga. The panels of fighting is definitely better. This is not a My Hero Academia situation where the manga looks better in the fights than, you know, Studio Bones did in the latest episode of My Hero Academia. This is where the animation gets it right, and the fight was amazing, and they really built those serious moments of, you know, that back and forth fighting between Aki and Katana Man. Katana Man fighting the Ghost Devil, and then the Ghost Devil getting eaten up by this Snake Devil. Those are very, very special moments, and that is when the anime feels the most right. It feels like this is real. This is a real moment that actually fits. Once again, in the middle of the plot, that is where the animation and the tone downness, the seriousness, the gloominess, all that stuff snaps you back into, oh my god, I feel tension again. This is an anime, or at least a moment within the anime I could take very, very seriously with characters, because of how they try to make us feel about these characters, make us feel a genuine connection to these characters, and especially like a character like Himeno that they've been building for the past couple of episodes. I'm sure a lot of people are simping for Himeno, but I'm sorry guys, she's gone now. Himeno is a character where I think of like Full Metal Alchemist Hughes, when he died in Full Metal Alchemist, this is a very similar experience. And I think the Hughes one, obviously it hits a lot heavier, but Himeno is a very recent example of a character that we all started to like a lot, that this character is going to be a significant part of Chainsaw Man for a long time, and they take her away. You know, that sounds very disappointing, but this is why I love Chainsaw Man, that there's real consequences for characters that feel very, very important. It's just like Attack on Titan, when you lose a lot of characters that are very, very important, that you built that connection with as an audience and a viewer or a reader. And this was just a special moment for the end of Himeno. Mappa got it right. Mappa just got it right. So I still hold my same criticisms about a lot of the boring, more serious tone of, you know, Chainsaw Man when it's not really supposed to be that serious. But this is the moment where Chainsaw Man shines the best. This is the episode that I could most definitely point to. Hey guys, get to episode 8 in Chainsaw Man, and I think that's when you will be won over, especially if you don't like those comedic parts of the previous episodes, or if you don't really care about those moments. This episode 8 is the episode that should win most audience members over. And yeah guys, consequences matter, because in real life, dealing with those emotions, when you watch something, you are watching something off of emotions. When you watch movies, when you watch just animes, TV shows, they bring you on an emotional roller coaster. So that is very, very important to me when I watch something, that they take us on not just a visual journey within the story through a plot, but they actually work with the levels of emotions. And I think the beginning half of this episode, you know, it still had that, you know, a little bit boring feel, the little serious feel of like, it was kind of a contradicting feeling that I have. But by the time when shit hits the fan, now you have that classic feeling within yourself, that tension building moment within the plot, like, oh my god, things are going down, characters are being hurt, are they gonna die, people are getting gashed up, Denji got shot in the head, and it's just a wild roller coaster. And those are the moments that really sticks out in your head. So yeah, I guess I can safely say right now, episode 8 is my favorite episode. I've mentioned this before in Demon Slayer. I said if you could get to episode 19, if you guys can get to episode 19 in Demon Slayer, I think that's the episode that totally wins like everyone over. In Jujutsu Kaisen, I think it was the same episode too, episode 18, 19, and 20, one of those episodes. I think I give criticism to Chainsaw Man where it deserves it, but I will also praise Chainsaw Man, the anime, when it does a good job. In this sense, episode 8, it did a very, very good job in the payoff for the cinematic style of what Mappa brings to the anime shines. This is definitely one of the moments that I remember, at least in the manga, for a while. So this is a very special moment within the plot, in the story. So let me know what you guys think of this episode. How do you guys feel with the difference between the first half of the episode between Himeno and Denji? Do you feel for the characters because it's a more serious? And I think the back half of the episode, it was amazing. It's like a 10 out of 10 how they did it. There was multiple ways that they go about it, and I was very satisfied with the direction that they went with that one. So let me know what you guys think. Do me a favor guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, check out my blog at otakusen.com, check out my anime figure YouTube channel. I've been live streaming on Mondays at 10 p.m. to midnight Central. If you guys want to check out that channel and look at anime figures with me and a few other people through the chat, you're more than welcome to come. And yeah, all that stuff would be in the description below. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video.